All right, you put in the hour, all that elbow grease is all over your pants, you twerk the hell out of those notebook, and now you finish every lesson plan, every PowerPoint for the whole semester. But then again, -5 point for not being sociable enough. Now, welcome back to Soul Quest. Today, we're gonna talk a bit more about KPI and what to look out for and how to negotiate. All right, welcome back, adventurers. For new viewers out there, my name is Soul Quest. I've been living and working in China for about 6 years so far. As you can see here from my new hairstyle here, it's just to hide the receding hairline that I have because of the high cortisol I had from all the events that I've been through in China. And I don't want that to happen to you, so this is why I make this video. And if you're interested in China or some sort like that, you can click like, subscribe, or either comment. I'll try to reply to you as soon as possible. Or either you can, if you click the other two buttons, subscribe and like, the algorithmic God will recommend you the best video for your needs. And if you click on any three buttons down below, my boys and I will forever be truly grateful to you because these are the only type of food that we consume. Subscribe, like, and comment. And with that out of the way, thank you for watching, and we can continue on to this video. The quick answer is KPI is a way for the company to keep their employee motivated in short burst amount of time. Typically about like 4 to 6 months, you get a mini raise, and everybody think KPI is a given. It's actually a mini negotiation boss battle, like a renewal contract, but in a smaller version. Of course, the management will try to keep their best to keep the score as low as possible, but it's up to you to negotiate on your outcome. Is all on your hand. But if you'd like to know more about the negotiation tactic and how it really works, continue on to the video. So first of all, what is KPI? Now, like I mentioned earlier, it's a way for management to keep their employee motivated, or either the company to keep their people motivated. And typically companies that do use KPI-based performance are usually mainstream companies where they're a bit more popular and a bit more stronger, and they're able to increase their salary every 3 to 6 months. Now, I did mention 3 to 6 months, but again, it really truly depends on one of each company, and sometimes they do it every 6 months, sometimes they do it every 4 months. It just really depends on how well the company runs or how organized it is. Don't expect every company to have a KPI-based system, because the most popular way to have a contract out here is through the renewal program, which is like you can take a 1-year contract or either 2-year contract and renew it after. But with the whole KPI thing, I think it's more like into the mainstream area, because it is a bit more complicated for a smaller company to run, because you do have a lot of meetings and a lot of like mini meetings with some individual employees, rather than just have a 1-year meeting and you renew the contract. But it's basically for companies that are more mainstream, that has more admins to work on these type of stuff. Now, how do they truly judge you on these KPI-based negotiation? Now, the thing is with these KPI, it really depends on the management and the company itself. Each KPI meeting is all different, but they do have a set of questions that the company will ask to the employee, and the employee is going to give a reason why they should have more raise or either more bonus into their paycheck. And if the answer is satisfied with the management, and they will check it off, yes, no, no, yes, some sort like that. Basically a set of questions to see if you are motivated enough to continue on for the next quarter or trimester of the whole company. And at the end, you can get the bonus or either a raise on your thing, or maybe like a coupon for a dinner or some sort like that. It just really depends on how well you negotiate on these things. Now, a lot of people would like to think that these KPI are just a given. And once you already answer these questions, you're gonna get a set amount of money in order for you to be motivated to work for that company. Maybe like a 50 RMB increase on your paycheck, or either get a bit of a bonus that month. But the thing is, these KPI are actually a mini negotiation boss battle. Now, same thing as a renewal, but instead of like 1 year or 2 year, you're gonna do it every 3 months. And this right here is the most important thing, because how well you negotiate is how much you're gonna get more. A little bit of story time here. Now, on my very first KPI battle with my management back in the training center, I had a long half-hour meeting, whereas other people have like a 15-minute meeting. And I was trying to defend all my stances on all my work. And my stance was, hey, I'm a really good worker. In my very first 3 months, I've already finished all the lesson plan in the book, and this is why I should receive 100% bonus on my KPI. But 100% bonus was just like a 1,000 increase. And at that time, she was trying so hard to nag the hell out of me, but I was just pushing down and giving proof. You always have to have proof, always have to have backup, always keep the receipt wipe your butt. But there's one part that she got me, and that is for not being sociable enough. And her stance was that hey, you work so hard, you don't talk to your neighbors, you should talk a bit more because this is social harmony. Sorry for the sudden interruption. I've ran out of battery, so I got myself a new charger. Let's continue the rant. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it didn't really compute at all just because the thing is, isn't the point of going to work? Why are we even communicating with our neighbors? So it didn't really make sense to me. Now, her main argument was whenever my neighbors start to make small talk, I decided to give them the cold shoulder or either give them a brief comment or brief response to what their comments are. And the second one was a couple of times the coworker tried to invite me to lunch, but I refused, or either the management tried to invite me to dinner. I instead went home. So yeah, like I mentioned in my previous video, these dinner time and also lunchtime are very important. And when it comes to this, you always have to accept them or not. They will try to deduct it from your KPI for not being sociable enough, even though you came to China, to this ESL training center to work at the first place. Again, in my honest opinion, I still think that I'm right just because in my first 3 months, that is the time where the learning curve is so high and I have to learn as many skills as much as possible in a short amount of time. Because the thing is, like in every workplace in the world, I think after 4 months, whenever you start asking questions or you make a mistake, this is where they think you're incompetent. But in the first 3 months, I think they just think of you as like a new person and they're like, oh, it's okay. You're still new. You can still make mistakes. So that's the reason why I grinded my butts off on the very first 3 months and finish everything off as well. And of course, the other main reason is so I can kind of slack off a bit too. But yeah, that is my experience with the KPI. And at the end, I actually received -5 points on my KPI. I didn't get the full 100% score, which made me salty for the next remaining 3 months. Just like the story we just discussed earlier, KPI is not really just a given. It's basically a main negotiation battle. So make sure you do your best to actually defend yourself and keep your points up. Because the thing is, if your KPI don't bump up high or either just steadily growing little by little, they'll just see you as incompetent and they'll just push you down further at the end of the year, or either keep your salary as stagnant as possible. What I'm trying to say is try to get to the cap as fast as possible. Because the thing is, with every job, there is a cap ceiling for the salary. And after that, they just start giving out bonuses instead of a raise. So it's best for you to actually just get to the cap as fast as possible by getting these mini raises from these KPI. And then at the end, you're just gonna receive bonus or either some kind of trip or some sort like that for these like mainstream ESL training center. But yeah, enough with the rant. Now for the last part of this subject is what are some of the criteria that they judge you on these KPI? The first one is, of course, the most important one is performance. The second one is your teaching. Third is your compatibility or either the sociable thing that we talked about earlier. Now, these are the 3 subjects, but of course, in each subject, there's a sub-subject. It depends on the company, how they're gonna judge it. But these 3 core thing are the most important thing. And the fourth one is whether if you take the monthly test or not. Now, typically companies that do have a KPI-based contract, they're a bit bigger. They do have like a standardized version of things. And typically they'll make you do a test once a month or either once every semester, once every 4 months, etc. like that. If you do well on those tests, this also counts for your KPI as well. And sometimes the test could be in the form of like a written test, ABC test, or there's like multiple question tests, or either they're gonna have an open class to see whether if you did well or not. And again, with those top 3 criteria, you make sure you have a receipt for every deed that you did or not. It's not really gonna count. And or either you have a witness or either the management knows. Like a good example is that if you organize the bookshelf and the management don't even know about it, that doesn't really count. You kind of have to make a big show out of it. It kind of sounds corny, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to get the bucks, right? So yeah, make sure you have a receipt of everything. Make sure the management knows that you're going to be doing this work because you want to show the management that you are reliable with the work, you have great teamwork, and you're sociable enough. Those 3 are the main criteria, and you do those tests, open class, or some sort like that. So in conclusion, KPI happens every 3 to 6 months. It really depends on each company, whether they have a big team, small team. If you have a lot of admins or some sort like that, it's going to be more often that you have many KPI bosses. If not, then it's going to be once every year and you have like many increases on your salary or either get a bonus in the first place. And with these KPI, it's up to you to defend yourself and show your worth. If not, the management or the company will try to bring you down as much as possible because there is only this much salary or this much pool of money to give out to these employees to keep them motivated. And it's up to you to get the most out of those pie. And whenever you do these like extra work for these companies, in my opinion, and I'm not saying this is like 100% sure, but for me, I would make a show out of it, make sure the management knows or someone, the upper management knows that you're doing this and have a receipt for it so you can use it for the KPI. For example, Josh out here was absent and he doesn't have any classes. You're like, hey, management, I'm such a team player. Okay, that sounds corny. But I'm such a team player. And I'm gonna fill in for his classes. And not only that, I'll finish his PowerPoint too. And it will count for the KPI in the future. But yeah, that's about it with the KPI. If you have any other questions, comment down below. I'll try to reply to you as soon as possible. Until next time, SoloQuest logging out. Peace.